Welcome back to another edition of the Night Report podcast. I'm your host, Mike Broadbent. Joining me once again is my co-host, Richie O'Leary, talking a commitment today from Latrell Noel, the 6'3" corner, originally out of Naples, Florida. He was planning to go to prep school, and he decided to reclassify once again to class 2025. So he'll be on campus very soon as a full-time member of the Scarlet Knights football team. We'll get into his whole journey to Rutgers and more. But first, this podcast is presented to you by MyBookie. It's crunch time on the court, and the NBA playoffs are your chance to score big. Whether you're riding high with the favorites or cheering for the underdog, every three-pointer, dunk, and buzzer beater is an opportunity to win at MyBookie. You can place your bets live as the action unfolds. If you're feeling confident, lock in those winnings early with a quick cash-out option. Never miss a chance to turn your basketball insights into real cash. And if you're new to MyBookie, you can sign up today with our promo code MM50 to instantly boost your first deposit. So if you deposit $50, MyBookie will toss in an extra $25. There's more action, more excitement, and more chances to win during basketball's most intense playoff season. Plus, when the games wrap up, you can keep the winning streak alive at MyBookie's casino with slots, blackjack, roulette, and more. The thrills never stop. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. All right, so Latrell Noel, I'm just going to say this again, said it last pod, one of the most fun names to say of any player I've ever had the distinction of rooting for. Latrell Noel. He has committed to the Scarlet Knights. Let's take a few months step back, Rich, because this is a kid who, as of April, was not even committed to a school. And he commits to Coastal Carolina. You could go through the whole timeline of how things have gotten him to Rutgers.
So I mean, he's been to a couple different schools visiting. I know he was at South Florida as a 2025 recruit. Just went to camps and just really didn't get any kind of interest, which is kind of crazy because a couple months later it's just like a big switch up. But yeah, didn't go to a ton of camps, but went to a couple of the local camps down there in Florida. Didn't really get his name out there as much as he probably would have liked to. Goes to Loomis Chaff School. Everyone knows Loomis Chaff School up here, I should say. It's one of the top prep schools in the Northeast, New England area, top talent producer, I should say top talent developer, because they get these kids that are always underranked and they turn them into like either 3-star, 4-star. Hell, I think they even had a 5-star in a couple of classes ago. So they've just done a really good job up there. And it's not just them. It's, you could say, Tabor Academy in Massachusetts, Loomis Chaff. I'm missing a bunch. There's a bunch more. St. Thomas More, who we talk about like every other week. But yeah, so does all that, decides he's going to reclass. I think it was March 10th. He decided he was going to reclass. He didn't get any offers. So he's like, okay, if I reclass, I have a chance of getting more offers. Very next day, first offer comes in from Cornell. Right away, boom. You tell the kid has the grades, so he's smart. A couple days later, he starts going on a couple more visits, goes to Coastal, goes to South Florida again, just keeps working on his game. James Madison spots him. Boom, offer. Yale offers him, another Ivy League. UConn offers. Goes to Coastal Carolina on another visit a couple months later. It was the first official visit weekend. I'm sorry, I skipped ahead too much. Ends up committing to Coastal in April after all these offers come in. Locked in with Coastal Carolina, does his official visit last week. Rutgers starts to hear about him. He goes to Rutgers camp on this past Wednesday, and works out in front of the staff, and staff's like, holy shit, who are you? And it's just as simple as that. I mean, they know who he was beforehand, but he comes to camp, works out, has a really good workout. Simple as that. Rutgers offers, boom. Next day, Coastal decommit. Kind of like almost set in stone. We posted about it as soon as he got the offer, posted about it as soon as he decommitted, posted about it right after that because he got an official visit locked in for the weekend. Weirdly enough, Toledo decides to say, hey, we're going to throw our hat in the ring too, which it's just like at that point, I feel like we know where this one's ending up anyway. Pointless for them, but comes to campus, loves everything about it, does the official visit, locks himself in. Rutgers is like, okay, like, do you really want to do that? Or do you want to just come to campus now because you're graduating in 2-3 weeks and you could just join the team in 2 to 3 weeks. So It just worked out really, really well for Rutgers. Just a very simple recruitment. And this is 4 years in a row now where they've done a reclass. So we're dating back to Jabome went from 23 to 22. Sage Claudius went from 24 to 23. Antoine Raymond went from 25 to 24. So this is now the 4th in a row. So basically, when we say Rutgers class is done in June next year, don't believe me because it's not done.
Yeah, and I mean, the staff is right. If he's fully qualified, might as well get him on campus as soon as possible, get that development in Rutgers strength and conditioning going, get him familiar with the defense, because in all likelihood, you're probably redshirting anyway.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe he does. They've had, look at the hit rate on the guys that they have done these late reclasses with. Yeah, Daryl Jabome,
Stud.
played, stud, but he played special teams as a true freshman.
Mm-hmm.
He even, I think, made some like late starts in the season as a linebacker. Sage Clauges, I know the staff is really high on. He hasn't broken into the starting lineup or the two deep yet, but Antoine Raymond last year, he basically became the number 2 running back late in the year as after Sam Brown got hurt. So high hit rate doing this. I mean, we've talked about this over and over. DB recruits under Schiano. If Schiano wants them, you should probably trust Schiano's eye with DBs, especially. Last season for Naples, Noel, just to talk stat lines, 50 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, a sack, a pass deflection, 3 fumble recoveries, and a blocked punt. He's a 6'3", 195-pound corner, and his tape, he's got, he can tackle. Let's pop on the tape, kind of discuss who he is as a player. But this is a guy I really like based on his tape.
I'm a big fan of him. He's tall, lengthy, typical DB for Schiano.
First thing you notice, he plays a lot of nickel and a lot of safety on his film. So he's kind of always, got a full head of steam, but he's a very physical player. He brings the wood. He's a good tackler. He makes a lot of plays at the catch point, and you'll notice he just has to drive on basically everything because he is playing nickel or safety. What were some of the things that stood out to you about his game on tape?
Yeah, his closing speed is right there with the best of them. He runs a 4.53 40. That's per him. So I don't know if that's a hand time, is it laser, who knows? But I mean, you see the acceleration on the tape, and he's able to read and react to really well. He's able to diagnose it, whether it's pass play, run play, and then once it is a pass play and they're able to get the completion, if they get it off, he's able to run and track it down very quickly. Good angles. Good hips and turns and everything. Like he just really looks like a very solid DB. I'm actually shocked based on this tape, and I don't know who the hell they're playing down there. Maybe it's just not that good of competition. I'm a little shocked that he didn't get more love from schools out there, but I guess their loss is Rutgers' gain in this situation. Like you said before, they've huge high hit rate on this on these kids. So on these late additions, I should say.
Yeah, one of my favorite things on his tape, which we'll see in a minute, is his play close to the line of scrimmage, where he's just reading and reacting. He's forcing quarterbacks to make decisions that they might not necessarily want to make. Look at him read and react on this play here. It was a design QB rollout, and he turns it from what could have been a 10-yard gain to I can't tell if that was a sack or not, but it was essentially a dead play as soon as he read it and reacted to it. You see the chase down here. He's got really good closing speed, like Richie already said. He's not afraid of physicality. He's able to fight through the trash as a corner. This is a guy who's could potentially play one of 3 positions at Rutgers. So pretty excited to see where he ends up actually being lined up.
Yeah, I know they like him at corner, which is really interesting because imagine in 2 or 3 years you have Sage Clauges 6'4", 6'5" on that side, and then you have 6'3", 6'4" on the other side, and it's they're not slow either. They're tall, lengthy, not skinny, but I guess they're skinny right now, but just tall, lengthy corners on the outside, and it's how do you throw on those guys? It's
a great question.
Insane to think about.
So he joins the class in 2025. He is the first commitment of the weekend, but something tells me he won't be the last. So stay tuned to your podcast feeds later in the day, and you might be hearing from us again.
I don't know if you noticed, I had a phone call there. I'm just saying something's in the works.
Something is definitely in the works. So this won't be the last time you hear from us the rest of the day. But stay tuned to your podcast feeds and the boards for more. But for me and Richie, this has been another edition of the Night Report podcast. Signing off.